Fishing trips anywhere, anytime. FishingBooker.com.
Hey, what's up, happy people? This is Robert Arrington from Deer Meat for Dinner. If you're into bow fishing like I am, you need to check out Cajun Bow Fishing. I've been using their gear for years, from the Sucker Punch Pro to the Winch Pro Reel. It's tough, it's reliable, and it works. Whether you're just getting started or you're ready to take the step to the next level, head over to CajunBowfishing.com and check out everything Cajun Bow Fishing has to offer. I trust their gear because it works. So if you're hitting the water soon, make sure you're rigged up with Cajun Bow Fishing. You will not regret it.
Explore historic waterways in 2025 with Scenic on the most inclusive cruise on Europe's rivers. Enjoy up to 5 dining experiences, spacious suites, and butler service. Be immersed in the culture with enriching free choice excursions and exclusive events. Scenic, in a class of its own. Book now and save.
Join Justin Townsend and the Harvesting Nature crew as they explore the world of cooking wild fish and game while sharing recipes, tips, tricks, and lessons learned from their pursuit of wild food. We sure hope you ate before the show, 'cause you're gonna leave hungry. This is the Wild Fish and Game Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Excited today. We have a special guest who I'm going to introduce in just a moment, and then I'm going to turn it over for him to introduce himself. But this is going to be kind of like a fly by the seat of our pants episode, and I'm excited to have Nate P on from Shorelunch with Nate P. Does the microphone smell different if you get that close?
He's watching my microphone, and I'm just hanging my nose on it. Hello, everyone.
We're going to do some fishing stuff today. We're going to talk about fishing. We're going to talk about cooking. We're going to play some games. It's going to be a pretty fun episode. I'm excited for it. Nate and I met. We judged the
BHA Roundup.
Yeah, the BHA Rendezvous in Minneapolis last year at the Wild Food Cook-Off. We were both judges and became besties there, and
celebrity judges.
We
were celebrity judges.
I think I was a last-minute fill-in. You're the celebrity, not me.
You're a big celebrity. We had, who else did we have? The beautiful Jamie Carlson.
Yeah, Jamie was
what
there.
What a hunk. The Lord of Hunks. And then we had Lachelle Cunningham, local Minneapolis chef. And then Katie Morrison, our Canadian friend.
Oh, yeah.
Remember this?
Right. There were 5 of us.
There was 5.
It was a lot of beers ago.
Jeez, man, a lot of beer. I think there was some Jameson involved that night too. Do you remember that?
I feel like at every booth they fed us alcohol.
Jeez, it was really something, and good food too.
Yeah,
what a fun thing, and it was nice meeting you. I'm pretty upset though because when Sweet Justin and I met, he had a beautiful lip wig that he was wearing. It was a thick black mustache. And now it's been shaved off. He looks like a tiny child. I'm looking at him right now.
Don't worry, it's coming back. It's coming back out of hibernation. I have to put it to bed every now and then.
Jeez. What's your you have a lover, correct? Or a wife or a girlfriend?
Wife, yeah.
What's her name?
Marjorie.
What does Marjorie say about your mustache?
Oh, she hates it. No, she hates it.
My Jessica hates it when I wear mine.
You have a giant beard. You don't need a mustache.
She likes the beards. Once a year, I shave everything off except for this.
Uh-huh.
And I turn into a real weird guy, and she just hates it. I should ask, are we allowed to swear here? Will that be edited out?
We can bleep it if we want, or we can do whatever we want. It's our show today.
All right.
So, whoa, not that one. No, it's cool. You know what? I've been watching, not from afar, but kind of from afar, I guess, what you've been doing, and I like it a lot. It makes me happy.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
That's it right there. Making people happy. That's what we're trying to do.
Would you mind giving a quick rundown of kind of your origin story of how you came to be the Shorelunch man?
Yeah, Monday, July 10th, 1978. My mother and father went to the hospital, and this tiny baby boy was born. From that point, I went through an assortment of schooling as a child. Into my middle school ages. Just kidding. I won't give you my whole...
It's a lot of school.
I'll get my rundown. No, back in 2020, my friend Eric and I decided to start up this thing called Shorelunch with Nate P. And when we started, we wanted to make a YouTube video, basically, one video, that was a cooking and fishing tutorial. But our whole thing when we did it is we wanted to kind of go against the grain. So we didn't want to do a catch and cook. We wanted to do a kiss and release program where we catch a fish, we kiss, we release, and then we make another slightly elevated meal on the shore. And the whole purpose was to help tutor people how to fish and how to cook. And it took off right away. We had our first video, and we had many people really enjoying it. So we thought, you know what, we're going to just keep doing this. And now it's been 5 years this year of Shorelunch.
Congrats! It's a good milestone,
dude. It's awesome. And we when we began, we were had this simple kind of idea of this anti-fishing show. And the point has always been to make fishing and cooking accessible, right?
Yeah.
To kind of show people how easy it is. If a dumbass like me can do it, anybody can. If I can cook, spaghetti carbonara on the shore, you can totally do it in your kitchen. It's not such a daunting thing, right? And here we are. Yeah, 5 years later, we're still doing it. We've met some really neat people like Justin. Who we met through Shorelunch, and now we're all over the place. We just had a new episode released today that we toured the ichthyology department at the Bell Museum in Minneapolis with our friend Dr. Cassie Ford and looked at a bunch of really cool fish specimens.
That's super cool.
Yeah, thank you.
That's very cool. As we think about, like, you've done a lot of cooking, you've done a lot of fishing. What's your, like, quirkiest recipe that you've tried out in the wild?
That's a good question. I will say it was we tried some nudies a couple years ago. Are you familiar with the nudie?
Well, I mean, I'm familiar with it, but I don't think we're talking about the same thing.
Okay, well, the nudies that I'm talking about are the pillowy boiled dumplings.
Got it.
Yeah, the beautiful cheese and these beautiful dumplings. And it was the one episode on Shorelunch where we crafted a dish that failed on camera. We made the nudies. We made these dumplings. We put them in the boiling water, and they just disintegrated.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, but, the whole thing when we did it was like, sometimes when you're in the kitchen, you're making something, and it goes to shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Doesn't work. And we didn't have any extra ingredients or anything, so we were like, fuck it. We went to the local gas station and got some roasted chicken. And at the end of the episode talked about, the whole thing of how sometimes you fail when you're cooking. Same thing goes when you're fishing. Sometimes you don't catch fish, and sometimes on Shorelunch we don't catch fish. It just is what it is,
I mean, I think that's the true life story.
Right?
It's not everything works out like the movies.
Say the phrase. Do you know the phrase?
That's why they call it that's why they call it fishing and not catching.
Jeez, man. Ugh. That's what my dad used to say. He'd go, that's why they call it fishing and not catching. He still says it. I say that's why they call it catching and not fishing. For whatever reason.
Like what you did there.
Yeah, that's the deal. And that was the one recipe. But we've cooked some other things. We made one. There's an episode coming out here in August that we just filmed where we did a squid stir fry.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
I've never cooked squid before. And our guest, do you know James Fee?
The name sounds familiar, but I can't put a face to the name.
Oh, he's handsome. You would, if you saw him, you'd know.
Okay.
Jimmy Fee. He's the editor for On the Water magazine in Cape Cod.
Okay.
And we were talking about recipes, and he was like, yo, bro, I'll go down and catch you some squid, which he did. And then the next day we cooked these squid in a stir fry, and turned out pretty good. Never cooked squid before.
That's cool. I like squid. I've been
so
on a
good.
big octopus kick lately. When I lived down in the Florida Keys, there was a restaurant there that served, or still serves, like this phenomenal octopus dish. And I've tried replicating it a couple times, mildly successful. And then I've tried like other places' octopuses that are similar, and this one is still the best. It's just like,
we have a local place that does an octopus al pastor.
ooh,
And it's really good. But that, man, the octopus, those tentacles are like, they're as big as my arm. They're huge. Yeah. That's why I like cooking the squid, because it's so small and gentle and easy. And you can like watch it go from its natural physique to like tender strips, But all these, what are these, cephalopods?
I think so.
That we're talking about, love cooking them and love eating them too. Do you ever feel bad when you're eating octopus though, because they're so smart?
I know, but I think it is cool how smart they are. I don't really feel bad about eating much. I can say I felt bad the other day. I found a duck. I was on a run, and it was like a little baby duck ran across the sidewalk, and I was like across the street from the lake, and I was like, oh my gosh, this little duck's like out there, and as he ran like under the fence, and it's like a big aqueduct reservoir, and I saw some ducks like kind of on the far edge, and I was hoping he was going to go towards it, but in fact he like, instead of going right where the ducks were, he or she went left into like a culvert, and that was like,
you couldn't get him.
Yeah, I felt kind of bad. I was like, man, that sucks. But
you ever feel bad when you eat people?
Oh, we're not supposed to talk about that. That was on the don't mention list, Nate.
I'm chuckling over here. I'm right behind a big hutch full of like dishware, and every time I chuckle, the whole hutch goes.
That's great.
Speaking of though, small outside animals, I was at a friend's house recently. My friend, his name is Solomon David. He's a doctor, and he has a lab at our local university called GAR Lab. He studies native fish,
Cool.
Predominantly gar. But in his basement at his home, he's got this really beautiful aquarium with like 6 gar in it. Different kinds of gar. He's got like a Cuba gar, Florida gar. He's got a alligator gar, and they're all about 1 foot long. But when we were leaving his home, and there was a squirrel had fallen out of its nest, a baby squirrel, right? You've seen one of these before, like a little pinky squirrel. It's probably 2 inches. And all the ladies, my wife and a couple other people were like, "Oh my God, we got to figure out how to save this squirrel." And we were kind of looking at it like, I don't think it's going to be possible. Like this guy, he dropped from a very high nest. And Solomon and the gang, and we were looking at each other, and all of us kind of were like, let's go, maybe we should feed this to the car. Which we didn't do. We attempted to save this thing, but it was kind of a funny thing that happened. Not funny, though, I guess. It's a small, dead baby animal.
I mean, it's funny because I came home and I told the story to my wife. Actually, first I called her, and I was like, hey, I'm on my run, and I found this duck. And it kind of like vented. And then when I came home, she's like, it's just kind of like natural selection. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Like, it's not, nature didn't put the road there or the fence there. But yes, natural selection.
Natural selection. Nature's rough sometimes.
Yeah.
Want to plan your next fishing trip without the hassle? FishingBooker.com is the best way to find and book a fishing charter anywhere in the world. Whether you're chasing trophy fish or just looking for a family day on the water, Fishing Booker makes it simple, fast, and secure. With thousands of experienced guides, verified reviews, and 24/7 customer support, Fishing Booker takes the guesswork out of planning. Visit FishingBooker.com and book your trip today. Fishing Booker. Fishing trips made easy.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. know this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for this day.
So you want to play a game?
I love games.
Okay.
I love backgammon. I love poker.
Well, this is going to be.
I love all games.
Not a board game, but so it's called Rapid Fire, Bait or Plate. And so I'm going to quickly name a random fish, and give me your thoughts, and all you have to say is hook or plate. That's it.
Okay.
So this is a judgment-free zone. We'll talk about them after.
Perfect. Will you write them down? Will you write down my answers?
I will, yeah.
I will forget otherwise.
I'll type them here. I will too. So, gizzard shad.
Gizzard shad, bait.
So we'll say hook. You're supposed to say hook.
Hook, sorry, hook.
Freshwater drum.
Plate.
Bofin.
Neither.
Okay.
Can I say that?
Yeah, sure. Long nose gar.
Plate.
Carp. Common or grass.
Plate.
Rock bass.
Ish. Plate.
Suckerfish.
Depends on the sucker.
Ooh.
Yeah, it depends on the sucker. Hook or plate.
All right. Northern pike.
Plate.
Bullhead catfish.
Plate. Or bait for
Ooh.
flatheads.
Eel.
Bait or hook. Hook, sorry. Hook, bait, hook. Hook,
Smelt.
Bait, hook. Plate for sure.
White lake fish. Lake whitefish.
White lake fish. I would say plate.
Cisco, which is
Plate.
a lake herring. Sea robin.
I don't know shit about them, so
Me
I'll
neither.
say neither. I don't know.
I'll put the Z.
Okay.
I'm putting Z for neither. Lionfish.
Plate.
Moonfish.
Moon eye or moon? What's a moonfish?
Moonfish. Hawaiian opa. O-P-A-H.
Opa. That's plate. I'm pretty sure.
Bluegill.
Plate.
Tilapia.
Plate.
Alligator gar.
Neither.
Asian silver carp.
Return those to your nearest DNR office in Minnesota, anyways. I don't
You guys-
know. I've never.
You guys
we
don't
have-
eat them up there?
No. Well, they're not here officially yet. So any of the invasive carp that you might catch need to be taken to the DNR's office immediately.
Oh. So it's interesting. We had a carp episode a while back. That's the last one, so we can start talking about them in just a minute. But we had a carp episode a while back. I think it was with a guy from Kentucky DNR.
Okay.
And they're rebranding those invasive carp as Kopi, Kopi.
Okay.
So kind of like the Patagonia toothfish, then became the Chilean sea bass.
Sure.
Similar movement, and then they've tried. Well, I guess it's its original name, but on the East Coast, you got snakehead, right?
Yeah.
And so the term people are starting to use is chana, which is part of its like Latin name, I think, anyway.
Okay. And snakehead are supposed to be super delicious.
We've actually, so this is kind of an announcement too, but we've got a line of eat more invasive species like shirts and stickers and hat coming out starting next week, which will be the same time this is. And our first one up, we're doing it's a snake head on a tie-dye t-shirt.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty phenomenal.
I like snakeheads, but I'm not a hippie, so I can't wear a tie-dye. I'm so sorry.
Maybe I'll do a not a tie-dye one too for the non-tie-dyers.
For the non-hippies out there.
I don't know. When you see the design, you'll be like, that belongs on a tie-dye shirt for sure.
Have you eaten snakehead before?
I haven't, and I've been out fishing a couple times here because I'm in DC now, and I've been out on the Chesapeake a couple times and not been lucky. I'm only here for a short while longer, so I'm thinking about trying to book a charter or like bow fishing at night or something because I really want to try it, and I heard it's phenomenal.
Dude, yeah, I've heard that too. My boyfriend Joe from the East Coast over there in Jersey, Pennsylvania, Jersey area, he's a fucking snakehead freak.
Really?
And yeah, he was telling me like they are a phenomenal eating. I mean, that's what they were brought. A lot of these invasives, anyways, were brought here as food sources.
Interesting. Yeah.
The common carp that we know and love, and they were brought here at the same time as the brown trout from Europe in the 1800s as a food source, and nobody eats them, and they're absolutely delicious.
Oh, so we talked about bowfin, right? Bowfin, dogfish. You said you did or didn't? That one got a Z. We didn't know where.
That one I would give a, because I love the fish, number one. Number two, I've heard they're extremely difficult to harvest and deal with. People call them cotton fish because as soon as the flesh touches water, I guess it turns into like mush.
Really?
So, but you can, I guess there's ways to fix them. I just don't know how it is. And those fish are so badass and mean. Like, I feel weird about eating them. I don't know. You catch them and they're just like, they're so feral. Like, I just want to get them back into the water to keep being like the lords of that area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you like fishing for bowfin?
I've never fished for them.
Oh, dude, bowfin are so much fun. They fight as hard or harder than any smallmouth bass you've ever caught. They jump, they shake, they're super. Their mouths are really hard, so they're super hard to like latch into. They're super, super fun, and in our area, anyways, have been branded as rough fish. And the rough fish debate, like people catching fish and just throwing them on the shore to die because they're taking over. They're eating the bass's fry or whatever. Yeah,
they're basically competition.
But the whole thing is like the bowfin have been here longer than any. I mean, they're an ancient fish.
Yeah,
just like a gar. I mean, they've been here for millions of years.
It's crazy though. Like I think about gar because like I grew up in Oklahoma and like we were not kind to gar as kids, and then like I later learned in life how badass they are. And they're just like such a cool fish.
Dude, badass and an integral part of the ecosystem, Yeah. I mean, they're native fish. Yeah. I don't understand the whole like wanton waste period, I think is insanity, You wouldn't go out and like catch let's just say brown trout, for example, invasive species, right? Nobody would go catch like a pile of brown trout and just like smash their heads and leave them on the shore. Like if you saw that, I think a lot of fly guys would be like, "Oh my God,"
Yeah.
But you will go. I was just talking to a friend of mine. He was fishing yesterday, and there was a pile of bowfin on the shore, and like a couple of them were like 30-inch big, nice fish that somebody had just caught, and we're like, "Oh, these are ugly. We're gonna just kill them."
Yeah.
It's insanity, man.
So you said long-nosed gar plate. I don't think I've ever eaten.
Here's the only reason I said that.
Okay.
Because they are also super neat fish, but I've heard that down in the southern regions of the
part
country,
of the world,
they make gar balls, and I've heard that gar balls are fucking delicious.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go on what I've heard from pals.
Oh yeah. Oh look, Hank has a gar ball recipe. Trust it.
There it is. Hank also has he's got shoe peak recipes, and shoe peak is what they call bowfin down south. So there's a way to cook these things, and he knows because that guy knows how to cook everything.
Yes. Yeah.
You've had him on recently, right?
We're gonna have it's been a little bit. We were just with him at Pig Camp.
Oh yeah.
In April. So he's gonna come back on though in a couple weeks in June and we're gonna talk about the new book. So we're
that guy is Hank is a very nice man, and it's nice he lives right here in St. Paul. So we're going
you guys kicking it.
Fuck yeah. Him and Jamie and I are going we're going catfishing on the Red River of the North here in a couple weeks up in Drayton, North Dakota.
Cool.
You ever been up there before?
I've driven past it, but I haven't been up that way.
Do you know the lore?
No, what's the lore?
Well, the Red River of the North flows north into Canada. And the more north you go, the bigger the channel cats get. So, like, anytime you're up there, you have a really good chance of catching a 20-pound channel cat.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're the lords of the water up there. It's pretty awesome. So we're going to go get
awesome.
after it.
I grew up on the southern Red River, Oklahoma-Texas border. Yeah.
Yeah, the other Red River.
Yep.
Also full of catfish, right?
Tons of catfish. Tons
Yeah.
and tons and tons. I had like my middle school shop teacher was like he had a big airboat. He'd bring once or twice a year, he'd bring it to school and like drive around on the football field and give everybody rides. And then he would, one time, I think once every couple of years, he would get together whoever was interested and he'd take them out on the river and go fishing. And like he guided and stuff with the airboat on the river.
Cool.
And it was just, tons and tons.
Are the catfish down there, are there blue catfish in the Red River?
I think we get a good mix.
I'm a catfish freak. I love catfishing.
Oh man, too. God bless the bottom feeders.
Dude, well, you know what? I don't want to lump catfish in with the bottom feeders. There's nothing wrong with the bottom feeders, but the
I love 'em.
catfish, oh, I love them too, man. I got a big red horse tattoo. You know, I love red horse, suckers, sturgeon, anything sucking shit off the bottom. But the catfish, like especially that on that Red River of the North, they are the apex predator. Like they're taking frogs, they're taking live goldeye, they're taking all kinds of shit. And, you know, obviously you catch them on cut bait on the bottom. But I feel like they're a little bit, they're more of a predator type beast to my eyes.
Yeah. We get here, it was probably 2 months ago maybe. I went fishing out with some guys here on the Potomac. So
cool.
Went upstream from D.C., like up from Georgetown and all that, and we're fishing for blues and flatheads there. And
nice.
Because they're kind of a species of concern here.
The blues
very much,
are?
Yeah, what you said, a rough fish. I mean, people still catch them and eat them, but they don't want them here because they're, loose quotes, competing with the others. But I think there's a lot of conversation too. And then the snakehead get lumped into that. Like, are snakehead really hurting us that bad? And there's a lot of back and forth conversation. But as far as table fare, though, phenomenal. We caught some monster fish.
Question for you: Were you fishing with cut eel?
No, I forget what we were using. I had an event. And so I only spent like an hour and a half, and they dropped me off.
Oh, okay.
What kind of bait? I don't remember what we were jigging.
Dog shit. You were using dog shit.
Probably.
My uncle used to use dog shit to catch catfish up in the Red River of the North.
I mean,
True story.
My grandfather would make catfish bait.
Oh yeah.
And oh my God, that stuff, he could open it outside and you could smell it inside. I swear to you.
I got to ask you, so you're in D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever run into this dude called Ernie the Hog Snatcher?
No.
Do you know who this is?
No. But I feel
He's a guy I follow on Instagram. He's a fisherman. He fishes the Potomac a lot, and that's why I asked about cut eels, because that seems to be like his preferred bait method. But this dude catches just giant blue cats all the time, and I'm pretty sure he's in D.C.
See, I'm looking him up right now.
You looking him up right now?
Ernie the Hog Snatcher.
Ernie the Hog Snatcher. The dude catches just hogs all the time.
Oh my gosh, look at all those.
And he's a big boy himself, but he'll grab he'll grab a 20 or 30 pound blue cat and just lift it up and hold it. He's pretty. Maybe you could have him as a guest.
Oh yeah, I should get him. Maybe hit him up. I'm gonna go fishing with him before I go, and then he's got some big striped bass, rockfish as they call them.
Oh yeah. Justin, if you get him as a guest, will you see if he'd be a guest on Shorelunch with Nate P?
Oh yeah, 100%.
We'll come out there. We will. I should leave this to all your guests out there. If you want us to come out to your area, we will join you via airplanes.
Do you have your own airplane?
Not yet. We're no Iron Maiden, but we're. They have Ed Force One.
Yeah.
That Bruce Dickinson flies himself.
It's like a dangerous thing.
I know. No, we're not there yet, but we did just get done with a cool East Coast tour.
That's awesome.
2 weeks ago, we fished in New York and Raritan Bay.
Oh, nice.
We fished the Delaware River in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, and then we finished up on Cape Cod.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we went togging. You ever catch tautog?
I have not, but I've heard they're phenomenal.
Dude, neat fish.
Yeah, no, I've heard anybody I've talked to, you talk about tog, they're like, oh, it's so tasty. It's so fun to catch.
We released them all. We didn't keep any. None of them were, we were catching really small ones.
People get super serious about a specific, slot size on those.
Dude, yeah, it's a weird thing. It's a weird slot, and people are obsessive about them because they feed almost exclusively on, crustaceans. Crabs, shrimps, all these things that are going to make the meat taste real nice, Yes. And we caught some and we released them. I mean, that's what we do on Shorelunch is catch and release. So,
yeah, because you're not cooking the fish. It's not a catch and cook.
No, we have cooked fish before, but it was like I go to the fish market in town and buy some Mahi-Mahi fillets. We cooked some of those. We did
Mahi-Mahi.
Mahi-Mahi or Mahi-Mahi. In Minnesota, we call them Mahi-Mahi.
In Florida, they call them Dorado.
Or dolphin.
Yeah.
Right? Don't they call them dolphin there? Jeez.
It's funny because back in college, I had some friends that lived down there, and I would go visit, and I would be like, dolphin? What are you guys serving dolphin?
Yeah, that's Chuds. Chuds call Mahi-Mahi dolphins.
Nice.
You know what Chud stands for?
No.
Right?
What is that?
Remember the movie Chud?
No.
It was a horror movie from the 80s. You're a little bit younger than I am, so you may not have remembered this. But
I'm not a big horror movie person either, so I get scared easily.
Cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller, Chud.
Oh, God.
So Florida, basically. Just kidding, Florida listeners.
Oh, easy.
I know a lot of nice people from Florida.
I'm a Florida resident, technically. Despite my
you're all over the place.
Yeah, I'm nomadic, fully feral.
Feral's cool. So you live in D.C. right now.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, and you're moving to Hawaii.
Yeah,
cool. Mahalo. And you were born in
Oklahoma. Yeah.
Interesting.
I've been a bunch of other places, zigzag. I went to college in New Orleans, then lived in Boston, then lived in San Diego, then lived in the Florida Keys, and lived in Denver, and then here.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, I'm glad we got to meet each other. Don't think I'm weird when I say this, but when we met at the BHA rendezvous,
mm-hmm.
It's like, man, this guy's fucking very cool. We could be buddy. And it's rare because when you're an older boy,
yeah,
you don't meet friends as easily as you did when you were younger.
Yeah, it's true.
A lot of my friend group, and maybe this is just me, I don't know, but are people that I've known for years and years. Nowadays, when I meet somebody that I think is cool, it's very special because it doesn't seem like it happens all the time.
Yeah, I find it the same way. And people you sort of click with now, you end up being better friends than you would have if you would have met them 20 years ago.
Dude, for sure. Did you feel like we had an instant attraction to one another when we did meet?
I think so. Yeah, it was the beard
or the mustache. That was a super fun day, wasn't it?
That was great, man. Yeah. They threw me on I asked when I got there. I was like, look, I love Rendezvous. I've done, I've done the cook-offs a couple times, back-to-back third-place champ, if you didn't know.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Out of what state were you representing?
1 year we were representing Florida, and then another year we were representing the Armed Forces Initiative, and it was Adam Steele and I both times. I think you met him when we were there too.
When you were representing Florida, did you cook Totino's pizza rolls? Sorry, Florida, I got to tease.
What did we cook? We cooked jerked alligator with man, what else do we? Adam's gonna message me tomorrow or next week when he listens to this episode and be like, "You're an idiot. We cooked this and this and this." I can't remember.
Where is Adam at? Why didn't he join us?
Adam Berkelmans is at a music festival in Utah.
Oh yeah, the death metal festival you were telling me about.
Yeah, I don't know if it's death metal or if I don't know.
It's Cannibal Corpse, cattle decapitation, tomb mold, and Deicide and Obituary. Those are the only death metal bands I could think of.
I don't even know what you just said.
I still love death metal, but there was a time when I was a young guy I was obsessed with death metal.
Really?
It's cool. It's cool music, man.
I had a coworker, one of them in San Diego, was big into death metal, and he had like, you get those professional grade like earbuds that people wear, like musicians. We work like customer service for a software company, and he got those, and he would just jam to death metal all day long, and I would be like, hey, like, I need help over here, like, waving my hands, and he can't hear me because he's just completely silent. And then he'd look at me and be like, what? And I'm like, ah!
Was he just, like, headbanging all day?
Yeah, but just stoic.
Oh, we got off subject. We got to go back to these hook or play.
Oh, we did.
Did we go through all of them yet?
We didn't go through all of them. Let's see. I want to hit another sea robin. I was trying to figure out what a sea robin was.
I know what it is. We were on the East Coast talking about sea robin, and I looked them up. They're real weird looking fish.
They look like almost like lionfish, but a little different.
Dude, and apparently they're a big. They're like in town when you fish the river. The sheephead is a kind of. It's not a nuisance, but sometimes that's all you can catch.
Yeah,
I feel like the sea robin is a one fish that's kind of like that.
Who did butter roasted sea robin? It's like a catch and cook from the galley. Sea robin ceviche. I feel like you can ceviche just about any saltwater fish.
Ceviche is so good.
I like ceviche.
Have you ever eaten any raw freshwater fish?
I get real weird about it. Like, there's some, like, you have to hit it to freeze at a certain point. Even still, there's, like, some creepy crawlies that you can still get. Like, you're better off to just kind of cook it or even steam it and then add it in. Yeah. I think would be the safest way to go.
You want to hear a raunchy story about eating some raw freshwater fish?
Yes.
Okay, so you know the burbot, right? Are you familiar with the burbot?
Yep.
Some people call them the eel pout. Burbot is a delicious fish. It's the only freshwater relation to a cod. I'm pretty sure. And in Minnesota, they used to, pre-2020, pre-COVID, they had a eel pout festival on Leech Lake up in northern Minnesota, where all the anglers would come up and they'd try to catch eel pout. It was a big contest, right? Mm-hmm. Anyways, we did it one year. We went up there. It's ice fishing. It's during the wintertime, and my pal Josh brought a giant wall tent with cots and then a wood-burning stove. So we had this huge tent set up. There were 6 of us boys. Each had our own little cot. My boy Andy brought up a truck full of wood, so we had like all of our fuel, and we were fishing. And we wanted to catch an eel pout really bad. And it was like, usually when you're ice fishing, you're going after walleye or crappie or panfish up in this area, but northerns too. But this time we were going for pout, and we could not catch a burbot to save our lives. All we could catch were like 12-inch walleyes, one after another.
That's what people want, right?
That's what people want. Well, we didn't want them, and it got to a point where we had got so hammered, and we kept catching these fish. We were like, fuck it. We're going to fillet some of these. We're going to eat them raw. And it was disgusting. Moral of the story, they were not good. Walleye should be properly cooked before you eat them. Nobody got sick or anything, but walleye sushi is just not a tasty thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've definitely been tempted to. I've definitely, mostly saltwater, I'd say. Like, even the freshwater stuff, I'm usually like, let's bring it back home and cook it up. Man, it's always so tempting because it's like taboo to the point where you're like, what is it like?
Yeah. Walleye raw is like, it's almost like undercooked squid. It's rubbery and tough. You know a squid, like you cook it until it hits a certain point and then it's like, boom, tender. Mm-hmm. And if you overcook it from that point, it goes back to like rubbery. Yeah. There's like that sweet zone. The walleye is like that undercooked squid. It's just like tough, and it's not like a piece of raw tuna, a fresh tuna that you cut off, and it tastes and just melts in your mouth. It's so good. Oh
man.
Walleye's not like that.
No. No, it sounds like not. I was just thinking about, it's funny, my mind drifted to thinking about Barracuda.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought for a moment about sushi and Barracuda, and then I was like, that's a terribly bad idea.
Have you eaten Barracuda before?
I have, yeah. Yeah, you worry, like, there's some concerns. There's, like, a size limit, like, you're looking for. If you talk to, like, some of the old school, like, Florida Keys fishermen, like, where I was, they're like, we'll eat them if it's a certain, size, not too big, because then you have a lot concerns with ciguatera and all that stuff like that.
What's ciguatera?
It is a fish poisoning known as foodborne illness caused by eating tropical reef fish contaminated by ciguatera toxins.
Oh, Jesus.
So basically, I think it builds up the Barracuda because it eats the other fish. But I think it's funny because there's like a do not eat this fish. And there's like horse-eyed jack, king mackerel, yellowtail snapper, hogfish, parrotfish, black grouper, amberjack, dog snapper, moray eel, giant barracuda. I think aside from...
some of those are like very edible fish.
Yeah,
I
like
feel I've eaten them
hogfish,
before.
snappers, mackerel, parrotfish. People go crazy on, mainly in Hawaii. They don't do too much. I think you can't catch them in Florida. All the jacks, black grouper. Like, come on, who put this list together?
Are you? What island are you going to in Hawaii?
Oahu.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
Are you a tattooed man?
I've got ink. Yeah, not as much as I would like.
I know a very nice tattoo man that lives on Maui.
Ooh, I would take a trip.
His name's Gordon. I'll when we get off the line here, I'll send you his details.
Perfect. No, I'd love it. I love it.
Good. He's a good boy. Good tattooer.
Cool story about the ciguatera. So the older, like, Cuban and old school long dwellers of the Florida Keys, they say you can test the meat for barracuda. You can tell if it's good. You either throw it, like feed it to the cat, and if the cat doesn't eat it, it's bad. It's got ciguatera. Or they say you can toss it in like a pile of ants, and if the ants like go around it and don't go on it, then it's bad too.
So you want it to be crawling with ants?
Yeah. If you throw it down in the ant pile, you want them to just like attack it like it's food. And you want the cat to eat it, and that means it's safe for you to eat. Yeah.
And then you take the fish piece and you go rinse the ants off in the toilet, and then it's safe for you to taste.
Well,
boys, my cats are actually you can't see them right now, but they're over here having a battle.
Oh, nice.
And what do you guys think about Barracuda? They don't give a shit. Do you have cats or dogs or both?
We had a dog. We lost him over New Year's, unfortunately.
Oh, sorry to hear.
Yeah. No, it was he was a little dude. But yeah, he actually got toxoplasmosis.
Oh,
but because
I don't know what that is, but
it's like it's kind of everywhere. I think it's like a bacterial infection, but because he was only like 7 or 8 months old, it
really?
wrecked him. Yeah.
Poor boy.
Yeah. So you cats, dogs, obviously cats.
I'm a cat boy. I like dogs too, but with my jet setting lifestyle, cats are much more appropriate.
That's fair.
So, and we have two of these cats that are we got them during COVID. Mm-hmm. So they're rescues. They're rescue boys, and they can. They're not like weird food guys, Like, so we can go away for a few days and just leave like a pile of food,
and they'll just like nibble.
They just eat when they're hungry.
That's cool.
It's really nice. Yeah, they're good boys. I love them.
That's cool. What's their names?
Tovis and Brown.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Tovis is Tovis. He's Tovis, and then Brown, he's Brown. Sometimes we call Tovis Tony, and sometimes we call Brown Prawn.
Oh.
Cats do the shrimp thing, where they're laying down and they kind of do the shrimp. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's he becomes Prawn when he's doing that.
Oh.
They're good boys, though. Yeah,
that's
I love
awesome.
them.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
What does every USAA member have in common? Family. We're one big family who supports the military community and their eligible families. And if you, your parent, or spouse served, you could join our family and save big on auto insurance. Visit USAA.com/join today to check your eligibility. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
All right, so let's shift gears a little bit. Man, we've hit on like a lot of the notes that I've got here. We even talked about sort of like the sort of like slightly serious bit of it of like fishing and approachability and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, even wild caught fish, accessibility to cooking. I think like, how did that become such a staple, and why was that the route you chose? You know, kind of with your show.
Sure, that's a great question. The reason we chose that route is because I do a lot of city fishing, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I fish all over the place, but I fish a lot right in Minneapolis. And kind of the whole thing was like, there's tons of really cool fishing opportunities right here. And I know, Minnesota's called the land of 10,000 lakes. There's way more than 10,000 lakes, but right here in Minneapolis proper, I mean, we have Lake Biddy-McCoska, Lake Harriet, Lake Nokomis, Lake of the Isles, Cedar Lake, and then we have Minnehaha Creek that goes from Lake Minnetonka all the way to the Mississippi River. So there's like a shitload of really cool urban fishing opportunities that you have. For somebody like us that does like catch and release shows or catch and release fishing, that's really cool. Somebody that does catch and cook, like somebody that wanted to go catch fish for dinner, easily done. And the fish here are almost more healthier than some of the fish you'd catch outstate Minnesota, where there's tons of like farm runoff and things like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've eaten quite a few fish from these local lakes and have had zero problems.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood, yeah. But I've been doing it for a long enough time. There's so many really cool fishing opportunities, man. And the other part of like the Shorelunch show comes to the cooking, right? Mm-hmm. Cooking for a lot of people, I think, is a very daunting process. A lot of people must have a recipe to follow, must have all these different things. It can be kind of nervous. You can have some nervous energy while you're doing it. So what we are trying to show is that you can make a jambalaya outside with all fresh, organic ingredients, and it can turn out really, really good. And there doesn't have to be a lot of I don't know what I'm trying to say. It doesn't have to be a big deal. Like, you can just make this and it tastes good and it's easy to prepare. Does that make sense at all? Am I talking correctly?
Yeah, no. It makes total sense. And people, I get that question a lot too. Like, I've got friends that are not as comfortable in the kitchen as like me, because I had a professional career in the kitchen for a while, and I continue to kind of remain in the kitchen throughout. And
don't they call you the Duke of Flavor? Isn't that the?
No, but it sounds great. And they always ask him like, what can I do to like get better? I was like, it's confidence. No, failure's okay.
Yeah.
And usually it's crazy because in the wild food space, I think people have a little bit more forgiveness to be a little more stressed out about their food because it's such a precious commodity. But if you're just cooking something that's like, oh, I'm going to cook, a roast that I bought at the store. Well, if you mess that roast up, hopefully you're in a position you could go buy another one, or hopefully you don't mess it up too bad. But there's all these it's just confidence going in and having a plan too, I think works for me. But I say that, and then I'll be like, I'm going to cook something today and grab something out of the refrigerator and just throw it in there. And I'm like, I'll mess with it till it tastes good, or I'll just shame eat it, just out of spite.
With Shorelunch recipes, 90% of them have turned out really good. And it's just because I have confidence when I'm cooking.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't work out, and that's okay. That's what gas station broasted chicken's for, That's what ramen noodles in your pantry is for.
Yeah.
But sometimes, a lot of times, if you just throw it down and start going, you're going to do a good job. If you cook things properly, season as you go. We had Doug Flicker was a friend of ours we had on the show, and his whole thing when we were cooking, he was like, and this is something I didn't even know before, or I didn't think about, but he was like, season as you go. Every layer of food that you put in your mirepoix and you start cooking it, salt it and pepper it, season it. You add the next layer of food, salt it and pepper it, season, season. And by the time you get done, you have this complexly flavored dish that's very simple. We just made a pasta fajoule in New Jersey. We were in Sayreville, New Jersey, home of Bon Jovi, the famous singer. We made this pasta fajoule. And you know what? Have you had pasta fagioli before?
No, I haven't.
It's pasta and beans. It's a simple dish where it's like, you fry up some guanciale or some bacon, and then in that fat, I browned some tomato paste, and then added in the mirepoix and cooked that all down, and then added in some cannellini beans, cooked that down a little bit. I had my pasta cooked separately, al dente, mixed it all together with a little bit of pasta water. Ooh. And it was just this beautiful meal, and it was seasoned as we went, and it was so simple, and we did it outside. And Joe Cermelli, who we were with for that shoot, was like, dude, how the fuck do you do this? He's like, you just did this right outside. And it's like, it's not a magic trick. It's so simple. All you're doing is building these layers of flavors, and anybody can do it, Especially if I can do it outside, you can definitely do it in your kitchen.
I think, it's such a fun concept too, because even growing up as a kid going camping, and then even now times you could hit the easy button and be like, all right, we're doing hot dogs for 6 days straight while we're camping, but it's like now it's like,
hot dogs are good.
I love hot dogs. We're making hot dogs with my kids this weekend. We're doing venison hot dogs. We got a new recipe in our a recipe in our new book, The Art of Venison Sausage Making. There's one in there that is absolutely phenomenal. Adam Steele wrote it, and it's magical. But I'm going to teach my kids to make hot dogs.
Tell me about a venison hot dog.
Yeah.
So do you how do you pure how hot dogs is like a it's like a bologna stick.
Yeah,
how do you get the venison to that consistency?
So you're making an emulsion basically. So you grind it, you pass it through a couple times on the larger plate, and then you go to a smaller plate. You're mixing in ice and the fat as well, and that's causing that emulsion to happen, and that's how you get that hot dog consistency.
Yeah, God, so good.
And we've got in the book too bologna. We've got a venison bologna recipe and a venison liverwurst recipe too.
Ooh, nice,
which are
dude.
They are all phenomenal. We've got blood sausage in there. I took an adaptation of a Navajo blood sausage, which is just a wild. They basically take the meat and they use what is it? It's carrots and potato in there with the blood and some of the meat and oats. I think oats. Maybe cornmeal, maybe. I forget what exactly it is. But they put it in the stomach, and they tie it, and then they cook it, basically poach it, and then take it out and slice it. And it's a traditional Navajo sausage.
God, that sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Isn't it strange how, not strange, but sausage is the universal thing. It's every culture has a sausage.
Yep.
I love it.
And it's so... I like it too, and we've told everybody with the book these are just base recipes. Change them to what you like, do what you want, take this out, add this. It's all customizable, and it's hard to fail a sausage.
Yeah, I actually did fail with sausage once. I was making hot links.
Oh yeah,
and I was making brats, and I forgot midway through when I was mixing everything up, I forgot which bowl had which in it. So by the time they came out, they were like they were kind of like hot brats, I guess.
Hot brats, yeah.
Yeah. They tasted good after I smoked them. They were delicious.
Yeah.
But it was also like my first time making homemade sausages. My mother-in-law, we have a one of these KitchenAid mixers, an old one. Mm-hmm. She bought us the meat grinder sausage stuffer attachment.
Oh, yeah.
Now we've used quite a few times. Now, you're a seasoned hunting boy. Mm-hmm. I'm not a big hunter. I've only hunted 2 times in my life.
What did you hunt for?
For the white-tailed deer in northern Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
I was unsuccessful both times. I mean, it was a success. We had great fun, but I didn't shoot anything, and I just didn't get into it. So I'm more of a fishing man.
That's fair.
But I appreciate the wild game. I appreciate when I get when someone gifts me venison or gifts me elk or gifts me antelope or whatever. I know how to cook it, and I really enjoy it. So point of the story is gifting is my love language, and any of you hunting men or ladies out there that want to send me gifts of meat, send them my way.
Well, if you want to go take another run at hunting, we can plan something. I'm
kind of scared of guns. Is that okay to say on the show?
Yeah, you could say, yeah.
I'm slightly scared of guns. Like I'll stick with the hook, line, and sinker.
Okay,
and then let my honky boyfriends go get me meats.
Deal.
That sounds all right, doesn't it?
Yeah. Let's.
God, what are your listeners going to think about this episode? It's been pretty good so far, I think.
I think they're going to love it.
Maybe they leave that in the comments.
Yeah,
if
I think they should.
Comment section. I think they should.
There is, and they can comment on Instagram too. Actually, that's a perfect segue into the game. We'll play this game and then we'll close out. Okay. So we'll each tell a short fishing or cooking story, one true and one false. Okay. The game's called Hook, Line, or Liar.
Okay.
And the listeners have to guess which one is true and which is fake.
Now, we know? Will we know beforehand? Will we tell each other our stories, or am I just going to listen to you?
No, we'll tell each other stories.
Okay.
And then afterwards, when we get off, I'll tell you which one is true.
You lead the way. You got to lead.
Okay. In North Dakota, I went fishing a long time ago.
Okay.
And we were up near, can't remember the name of the lake. Giant lake almost near the border with Canada.
Devil's Lake.
No. Starts with an S. Is it? It's not Saskawea. Maybe it is. Something like that. But so we're there and we camped and fished, and we didn't catch any fish at the lake. And the next day we go into town because my buddy has to do work, and he's talking to this guy and telling him about all the hard trip that we've had because we haven't been catching any fish. And he tells us to go to the local lake, like the reservoir, and don't fish the reservoir. Go on the backside of the reservoir and fish this like runoff drainage ditch. And we fished it, and we caught like 20 fish in like a couple hours.
Perch, northern pike, or walleye?
Northern pike.
Okay. North Dakota state fish.
Yeah. So.
And were they all like 30-inch plus fish?
They were nice fish.
Yeah.
All right. Second story.
Okay.
I come back from hunting antelope, pronghorn antelope in Wyoming, and I'm working on a liver recipe, liver pate, and I use the antelope liver. I decided to do that, and I try to make like a traditional one with the cream and the sherry and everything, and it was so bad that it made me throw up when I tasted it.
God. Now, do I guess? Do you want me to guess right now?
You can guess, and I'll tell you after.
I guess that the first story was true and the second story was false.
Okay.
That's my guess. Now, do you want to hear my tales?
Yes.
Now, does one have to be false, or can I tell two?
No. One has to be false.
Or two false.
One has to be false. One has to be true.
Okay. First story, okay? We were in Raritan Bay, right outside of Staten Island, home of the Wu-Tang Clan, in New York City. We were with a man called Frank Crescitelli, Guide to the Stars. This guy's guided Wade Boggs, Ethan Hawke, Jack Handy from Saturday Night Live, Clarence Clemens, the old saxophone player from the E Street Band, rest in peace. He brought me and some of my boyfriends, including Mr. Joe Cermelli, out for a fishing adventure, and I caught a 45-pound striped bass off the bottom in Raritan Bay during striper blitzing season with a 2-ounce jig with a big paddle tail fucking rubber thing on the end of it. And the most exciting day of my life. Joe caught a bunch of stripers on a glide bait, but I was too inept to throw this like 6-ounce glide bait in this small boat, and we had the time of our lives.
Okay.
Are you ready for tale number 2?
Yep.
Tale number 2. 2009. I'm going to paint the picture for you, okay?
Okay.
4 greasy men. We're up in Grand Forks, North Dakota. We'll go back to the Dakotas for this one.
Okay.
Getting ready to go on a epic catfish adventure, okay? We got to the boat launch. We walked down the boat ramp, and at the dock, there was a man there with long white hair and a long white beard. I'd say he looked like an apparition. He looked like a ghoul or a ghost or however you say. We went to this man and we said, hello, how's it going down here? We're getting ready to launch our boats to go on this fishing adventure. And he said, hello, boys. The fishing's been really good down here. He sounded like a ghost. Like we were looking at each other like, what the hell? And he said, me and my boy, we come down here every year. Once a year to go fish the catfish at the Red River of the North. If you go back up to the parking lot, you'll see my boy's big rig. He's a truck driver parked there. Fishing's been really good. And so we listened to this and we said our to-dos to him, and we walked back up to the parking lot. When we got up there was no big rig. And when we looked back down to the boat launch, there was no man down at that down on the dock. Yeah, this was a ghoul. This was the specter of the Red River of the North.
Ho ho ho!
Sorry, to be scary.
Oh, you made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Good storytelling.
Fishing's been really good, and he had that wavery voice. I'm just here with my boy. He drives his big rig here every year.
Holy smokes. I'm gonna say that one's true. Don't tell me yet. I'm gonna say that one's true.
Okay. I won't say.
Okay. We'll talk about it after. Everybody else, comment when you see the reels on Instagram. I'll put this story reels on Instagram for sure. This is a good one. I'll put this one on there. Comment on
the hair's
which
looking
one.
pretty good, so yeah.
It looks good. It looks good. Comment which one you think is real for each of us. If you get both right, I will message you and send you a gift. So
what kind of
play
gift
that.
will you send?
I don't know. Well, maybe it'll be sticker.
Sweater?
Maybe it'll be some stickers. Maybe it'll be a hat. Maybe it'll be a T-shirt, Spice Blend. I don't know. We'll see. But
I'll up the ante. I'll throw in some stickers too. Some Shorelunch stickers. Yeah.
Deal.
They're really cool stickers too. Okay.
Perfect.
Sweet.
I guess let's close this out.
Close her down.
Where can folks find your content? How can they connect with you?
Well, fun stuff? Number one, log into the internet.
Yes.
Go in and go to your AOL account, hit log in, go to YouTube, search Shorelunch with Nate P. Immediately smash the subscribe button. Very important. Watch all of our videos. We have like 60 videos now. There's so many videos. And then for bonus stuff, we're pretty active on the gram of Insta. So look us up on Insta. Send a message. I'm in charge of all the social media, so I respond to everybody. We're on Facebook too, but not as much. Just Instagram's probably the best way to do it. And look us up that way. Tell all your pals about it too.
Share wide and far.
The end.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. One thing we do is sort of like a last thought. Any kind of last thought you want to leave listeners or anybody with?
Well, I would say it's why they call it fishing and not catching, kids. When you're out there, and as dumb as that is, fishing is just a fun thing. Have a fun time. We're in a time right now where things seem really heavy. Things seem like they're going in the way that a lot of outdoors folks don't want them to. So have a good time out fishing, but also keep your eyes on current events and talk to your legislators when they're making different decisions than what you want to have happen, because we're seeing it right now, especially with like public lands. Go follow your local BHA and they'll tell you all about it. But have a good time and leave it in the comments. Tell me that what you think.
Yeah, absolutely. We love to hear the feedback. Thanks again, Nate, for coming on. It's always great hanging out. We're going to do it more often.
Thanks,
we're going to do some fishing and all
shit.
This fun stuff. We'll get it on the books for sure.
I want to see your mustache again.
I'll bring it back.
I'd like that. Now you are good boyfriends with Jamie, correct?
Yeah.
You guys run around together?
Not as much. I mean, we talk back and forth, but we need to hang.
He's a good boy.
To hang more. I like Jamie a lot.
Just on a last note here, that guy lives 1 block from my parents, and he has for like the last 20 years or something. And we just realized this.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
I drove to my parents' house yesterday, and I texted him. I said, "I'm driving and looking into your home right now."
That's awesome. Well, thanks everybody out there for listening. Whatever podcast platform you're listening to, punch that 5-star button. Leave us a review. Tell us we're doing right, or tell us we're doing wrong. Thanks everybody. Have a good night.